Hello, everyone. It is fully January. I guess it's over a week into January. I was kind of thinking we had a little half week of some kind, but I am incorrect. Welcome. I have found a bunch of new faces here are joining us, and I just want to say welcome to everyone. I am so grateful that you're here. I hope you enjoy some of my content, but if it's just not for you, it's fine too. It's totally up to you. I am such a proponent of, using your time wisely, using your energy, when and if you have it. And so if this is not supporting you or not connecting, or just like if it just doesn't feel right, it's okay. Please find the people that really, resonate with you. I'm also changing a couple things up that I'll explain along the way. Well, just one main thing, and trying to make things a little simpler. I am really enjoying having a simpler time with things. I am subtracting things out of my life, and it's helping. It's helping a lot. So, today we are planning from January 9th through January 15th. In the Makselife, I've been using Makselife I started in March of 2020. Let's see. I did all of 21, all of 22. Maybe it was 21. Yeah, probably spring of 21. They had some, I don't think I got the very first year. I got the next year that I got the discount ones in March where the dated ones were already progressing, and so I started in March. So yeah, I have 2 boxes up there, and I've been loving it. I used to use Inkwell Press before that, but I didn't like how their company made things really dark up here, and I couldn't use that space, and it felt just heavy. And I couldn't use stickers very much. I'm not a big sticker person. I'm using some of these today, but for the most part, I like just to see a few icons. And that just kind of clues me in on what I need to do. But for the most part, I just try to have a lot of buffer space, considering I get easily overwhelmed with things, being neurodivergent and having multiple chronic illnesses that I'm trying to support, and being a mom and a wife and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot. And when I keep things really simple, I find my version of success, my definition of success for myself works. So I also, between all of that, I support clients who are also neurodivergent or have chronic illnesses, just kind of do the same kind of things, like navigate their days, making decisions, planning things out, because it can feel like a whole jumble of things. And so the way I love to work with people is just one-on-one, either a few days a week, sometimes every weekday, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes once a week. And I find that frequent check-ins, especially for those with ADHD like myself and autism, and anyone who's kind of neurodivergent who just kind of gets easily overwhelmed, I just love supporting them. And so usually I have it's just an audio back and forth through Voxer. And I wasn't sure if Voxer would work for me or not. I had heard so many good things over the years. And then when I finally was trying it with my clients, it worked out so well, especially for those who audio process, audible, talking things out to process things. It works really well. Other clients I text because that works better for them. But I find that little tiny frequent check-ins with people, it just really helps them. And I love to meet you where you're at. I love to cheerlead you in any way possible to get you further to where you want to be. It's nothing about my goals. It's nothing about what I expect of you. But it really can help a lot of people if there's someone else on the journey with them. So that's a little bit about me. You can find the link. It's just katiesanders.com, Katie. And on to the rest of things. So I did get a candle wick cutter for Christmas. Actually, it was one of those kind of after Christmas presents, if you know, like kind of gift to myself. So, but I consider it kind of a Christmas gift because I keep trimming these with like an old scissors that I have, and it was time. It was time to have it just a little bit cleaner. See, I was able to lift the wick up out of there instead of launching it somewhere. Yeah, so that is that. Keeping things simple. I also, during these spreads, last year I would pull like 4 cards, tarot cards and oracle cards. This year, this is what's going to be a little different, is that I'm just going to pull 1 card each week. And you can kind of consider it your card as well, if it kind of resonates with you. If it doesn't, just move on. It's okay. We don't focus on it too much. I also thought I used a bunch of snowflakes last week, and I'll go over last week, but I thought this is still winter. I'm in the Seattle area, so it is a little warm. It's like 45 to 50-ish. Like when I stepped out today to go get groceries, it was warmer than I was expecting. So I have like a couple things here, and I might use a little bit off of here. It feels a little less Christmassy. We still have our tree up. We do. We decided to wait another week on it, and it's bringing a little cheer. It's a really weird in-between week, and I know on Monday, yeah, let's go over this last week. So this was my last week here, and we had a nice extra day on Monday, and so on Tuesday, it was weird. It was weird to wrap our brains around. Like, we had been getting up earlier, and I very much, in our household, if we're going to get up early for a standard routine, we have to ease into it. And so getting up earlier multiple days before that, usually during the summer leading up to my son's school, we're like a couple weeks out, we slowly crank back forward. I always get those mixed up. We put the clock earlier, the wake up time earlier and earlier, about 15 minutes to gradually work into, that wake up time. But for us, we had like more of a few days. And then this first day, we were all really mushy brains. And we called, one of the memes I saw was like, yeah, my brain is soup right now. And it was, it's just like murky and chunky and just how do you work? We had such a nice break. I did these videos all during break. So, because I love these. These are like the core of what I do. I love talking with you guys and connecting with you. Please leave comments if you have questions or anything below. Even if it's about like stuff I help people with, I welcome any kind of questions. But so that was kind of, and interestingly enough, I had therapy that day, so I could kind of talk about it there too. And then yesterday, actually today's Thursday, I'm recording this a day early because I wanted to get a couple of videos out. So you'll actually see this video after the in-between video, but I'm recording them like back to back here. I have a Friday 10 minutes better coming out, hopefully, if it works. I'm pretty sure I have a plan for it. I'm just going to record it, and I'm hopefully going to feel good about it. It'll be fine. And then this one will come out on Sunday. You're seeing this on Sunday the 8th. So I'm kind of halfway through here, but the bulk of things kind of really happened. I love this new sticker I have here. I had much smaller ones, and it was very hard to see whether it was yard waste or recycling because we alternate in our area. And I loved having like this really big green sticker here. And then next week, very big blue. Like I was having trouble seeing the icons on here last year, and it's perfect. It's like, okay, that's coming in the morning. We need to do it this evening. Or like just birthdays and pickups at our house. These little baskets are actually we have 2 boxes in front of our house. One is like milk delivery. The other is recycling, where they pick up extra recycling. And so keeping it really simple like that, but just cluing in that those are there. I did kind of front load quite a bit here. I still have a few things to do. I usually have like a list of chores to do. I just put them on Monday and then I kind of gradually do them throughout the week. This filming is happening here instead. That's okay. Like for me, that flexibility of going, wait, I have a couple hours right now. And I did. I was like, got the groceries in, got it all put away, had lunch. And then I'm like, wait, I got a good chunk of time here where I can do this. And so I felt like I was ready. I could slot this into today and it works. So I would rather have a bit of a quieter Friday because I've been going out almost every day this week. And usually for me, that's a lot. And for me, I really try to keep this in mind because I know this about myself, is like when I'm leaving the house, my brain turns into doing mode. And so it really is hard to get back into like thinking mode. It's hard to, or if I'm doing both, I need a couple hour transition or at least an hour. And I've only discovered that about myself here in my 40s, that I probably maybe 8 years ago really kind of clued in that this is like something I need. I can't really jump into it because I didn't realize my neurodivergency until much later in life. I didn't realize I had ADHD. I just thought things were hard for me. I thought I just didn't hear as well, even though it was auditory processing disorder. I thought, wow, I can't tell my left from my right. But that was dyslexia. Like, it's really interesting when you start to actually know these things about yourself that you're just like, oh, that's just how my brain works. It's okay. And then you can accommodate yourself or you can ask others to accommodate you. So that's the freeing part for me. And I don't feel like I have to have exact labels because things are still changing. Like, diagnoses for things that came out 10 years ago are shifting and they're having some new language or labels for things. And I can feel like I'm close to some labels and that's enough for me. I fully believe self-diagnosis is totally valid because there can be a lot of tests that are not accessible to everybody. And if you also go through the tests and you get the labels and it fits you and it feels good, I applaud that as well. You know, I don't care how you arrive at this journey, but if you find that your brain works a little similar and that you're kind of enjoying this content because, hey, your brain works a little different like the rest of us, great, because a lot of the world is centered around neurotypical minds. And having like waking up at certain times, getting certain amount of things done. If you've always felt like you haven't been able to keep up or that you do things differently or whatever, you're welcome here. That's what we talk about. The other thing that, let's see, I've been doing some budgeting things, some new budgeting things, and it's been really helping. And I found an error this morning that I'm really glad I got. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I got this. And now I'll be fully aware of it moving forward. And so I'm learning. I'm learning every day. I went to Fred Meyer this morning and I just do pickups because I can't go inside. I usually stay away from crowds, being immunocompromised, and I've been getting a little closer to possibly talking more about that. But as of right this moment, I'm not going to go into detail. If you do have a chronic illness, again, you're welcome here. A lot of neurodivergent people have chronic illness and vice versa, and those two Venn circles overlap quite a bit. So, and I think you come to understand the world a little differently and have a lot more compassion towards those who, if you have pain every day and it keeps you from doing things, you do connect with other people who are living the same way. And I think everyone can kind of support each other and going, oh yeah, you feel that too. You have an off day. Yeah, take it easy. Take it easy. Clear your schedule if you can. If you have the privilege of that, because not everyone can. A lot of people, they have to go to work. They have to do certain things. And when you look at my stuff here and you're like, oh, wow, you just have a lot of time on your hands. I am very busy. I just don't write it all here. And my work is in my work planner. Sometimes I mark a couple little tiny things I don't want to miss schedule-wise, but all my work is in a different planner and I don't share it here. I have had my own business since 2005. So it's morphed and shifted. I started out with web design, and then branding and then marketing, that kind of stuff. I helped a lot of small businesses with all of that. And yeah, now it's morphed into helping people just kind of with their daily, just a lot of decision making. Sometimes they just are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Everything's really hard right now. I can't even sort through what is important. I don't know what to value right now, as in, I don't know what I should prioritize. So, yeah. But there's a great community here, especially on YouTube. I have kind of stepped away from Facebook. I just can't anymore. Instagram, I'm on a little, but I can't. I'm having a lot of trouble being on there. But that would be my second choice. But YouTube, it's just really nice because I can get in and out with just posting my things and only follow who I want to. And I'm not bombarded by a ton of extra posts and things from people I don't even know. That's like the primary thing. And TikTok, I stay away from too, because that would be, my brain couldn't handle it. And if you enjoy those platforms, please, because I know neurodivergent minds who love all of that kind of stimuli of like, yes, more, and they can balance that with like going, okay, that's enough for me today, and that's fine. That's your life. Please enjoy your life. That's what it's about. Let's see. So I don't have any infusions this week. I actually don't have any this month. I do have one in February. And on those weeks, I pretty much, it depends what kind of infusion. I've had iron infusions and then medical ones, and they work opposite. So for me, the one that I had right before Christmas had like this opposite effect. I just couldn't wrap my head around because I had had iron infusions, which are more like, they're really hard for me to go through, and then they make me feel better. Whereas my prescription medication is like, it's short and I go through it, and then I have to have like, it's almost a week later, it'll kind of hit me like, wait, you don't have as much energy as you think you do. And so that's what I'm trying to plan around. And when I see, like, if I have a whole week, usually I have them on a Monday, and then I just kind of try to say the rest of the week, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be available. And then I just kind of pencil in what I can. The other thing is I just started going back to the chiropractor. Oh my goodness. I used to go to this same person back in like from 2015 to 2018. And I've gone to other chiropractors. I'm always a fan of the ones with instruments. They look like a little like Nerf gun, that type thing, and they have a little hard tip and they just tap. I do not do manual adjustments. Sometimes he does do one if my rib has kind of poked out. It's something an injury I got during childbirth, not my childbirth, giving birth. And so it pops out sometimes, and I have to kind of get it reset and kind of in there a little better. But for the most part, like, I just went to him once last week. I've just gone to him once since 2018. Like, it's been, I'm trying to do math, 5 years? 4 to 5 years. I don't remember when in 2018. And he has like reset my spine in 1 week. And I know I have to keep going back for a while, but it was instant relief. I came out of there like going, I can breathe. And I think I mentioned this in the last one. I'm not sure. And I was just like, this feels so much better. And I have gone to chiropractors who use the same instrument, but were so young. They didn't know really how to support people yet. And I went to them like 3 times a week, and they never were able to really fix much anything. It was expensive. And then when I found him, he's like, he knows. He's probably in his 60s. He knows what he's doing, and he's the best. And everyone absolutely loves his work. I just wish I could share him with everyone who's going through it. Like, it really is. When you find a good caregiver for yourself, it makes a whole difference. So I'm going on Fridays for a bit, and then going to probably every other Friday. And it's a lot in my hip area. I twist them. So like if you imagine these are your hips just looking straight down, this one rotates back a little bit and this one rotates forward, and it kind of has this kind of a thing going on. And I need to kind of reset that, and it helps everything in my spine. It lets me lay down on my side, sleep through the night on my side. It does so much. So the other thing, so I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. The other thing is I did have a dentist. I had a filling I had to do, and I will say it's been a while since I had a filling. I've had plenty of fillings in my life, probably they had to do 1 or 2 over again. So maybe 8, over the course of my life. And this one was the worst. I freaked out in a long time because it had been a long time, and I had a filling from this dentist before. So I kind of knew what was happening, but oh my goodness, I had a panic attack, and it's a lot. But I was able to talk to the assistant during everything, and my dentist was fully aware. She was like, hold up, what's going on? And so it was just a combination of things. And usually I just ask for a hand to squeeze. It makes such a difference for me if I can ask a nurse or assistant, can you just hold my hand? Just even if it's just for a little part of it. It doesn't have to be all the way through. Just that hand squeeze. They also, and if your dentist off, think about this, if you need some help too, they put the x-ray apron on top of me for like a weighted blanket feel, and then also a blanket because I was like shaking so much. I was like going into shock. So, and really, I knew it was going to be quick. I knew that I wasn't going to feel anything. I knew what to expect, but I can still have these reactions due to past traumas. And it's okay. It's okay. We get through them. And I had to come home and rest and just chill out. And I got through it. And I know I may have one more to get in the next year because they're still kind of watching an area. They had been watching this one for at least over a year. And so I knew it was upcoming. And it's like one of those cavities under your filling. It happens. So that's my story for the week. So I'm just kind of like, I've had all these things, and then tomorrow after I go get my quick adjustment, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to feel really good tomorrow. I thought on Fridays it'll work really nice to just come back and relax, because this is a big first week, even though it was just 4 days because we had Monday off. It's still a lot. So that's about where things stand. And I didn't even fill these in. Let me see. Oh, so we're going to put our decor away this weekend. And then my mom, I helped her get a fake tree. She had never had a fake tree. I know I did all these. Actually, I'm having vitamins today. So vitamins actually are extra vitamins on top of my multi. And I just want to track when I'm doing something else on top of. Actually, no, I did. some here. I took some the week before, especially because we were around family members. And then today I'm having one of those little emergency packs. Also to help absorb more iron, because my iron is always low. I have been drinking my water. And actually the sleep has been okay. It was, actually, no, it was Tuesday that it was a little hard. That's when we were in and out of sleep. But the past 2 nights we've been going to bed early. The whole family. And it's working. It's working. It's hard for us to go. We're such night owls. Our circadian rhythm here is we can stay up easily till midnight. And we do generally go to bed around 11 is like early for us. Everyone's different. So didn't really fill these in, but I might, in the next couple days. So this is this next week, and I'm going to start off by only picking one card today. Last week I had like the 4, and this was one of them, but this is the deck that I used in my big reset, as I picked 1 card for the whole year, and then I picked 12, 1 for each month that I wrote out, and they were really surprisingly accurate. And I want to talk about that a little bit more. I've done a video on why do I use tarot cards and things, but I've had some other kind of thoughts since then. So I'll do that. And I thought the other part is I can just pick them. Since I'm only picking 1, I do have them all upright. That's how I don't like to have them upside down. When I see a card, I know like whether or not I need to work on something, or whether or not I'm feeling positive or negative about something. So traditionally, if it's upside down, it's something to kind of like work on, or anyway, it can have a different interpretation. I just like them all face up. So as I'm going through these, why do I pick a card? So for me, it can be very overwhelming to like make decisions and to go, where do I want to go in my life? What can I focus on just this week instead of focusing on it for the year, or even focusing on it for the month? I've done all my yearly and monthly and weekly, even till last week, goals. I'm keeping them very simple. You can, look back on my channel and see that. It's just called the Big Reset. I do multiple, like pretty much all my goal planning in one video. And then I just did weekly pretty much after that. So the reason I do that is because when I see a card, I can feel this intuitive. Sorry, this one popped up for me, so I'm going to pick that one. Popped up meaning it almost wanted to be separate from the deck, and I just kind of follow that as an intuition. Could it mean nothing? Sure. I completely believe that things happen randomly. I completely believe that. And I also believe that when I look at something visually and it has a theme, that I can say a yes or no to this, or think of something immediately that this applies to that is relevant in my life. And so it's a visual tool to go, like, I don't know what the meaning of this is yet. I actually haven't read the definition of this one for a while, but I know top of mind, I am thinking about work things this next week, and I'm thinking about, what else? Health things are a little bit on pause. So if I went back to, because I haven't done these yet. If I went back to here, I'm seeing like this is a big area I'm focusing on. This is kind of being processed. I don't quite need this next week. This is kind of more monthly. Clean the house. Actually, that's kind of like getting our house kind of reset back into things. That's on the forefront. Then I pick a card, and then as I read this, I think, okay, how does this apply? Is there kind of something that I'm not making a decision about right away that maybe this might click for me? And it may or may not. So Listener of Candles, let's read it. Candles. Here we go. Sensual, which can be just using your senses. It can be visual, something you're hearing, something you're smelling or tasting or touching. And creative, you know how to be a magnet for your desires. So instantly, I'm thinking that, like I have a bunch of thoughts already about that. What I'm thinking is, yes, I want to reset my home. Like I instantly started thinking about my home, and I want this place to be a magnet to like attract simplicity. So that's kind of like, it goes both ways, right? It could attract actual things and get cluttered. So I don't want that. And it did make me think of that as like, oh, clutter attracts clutter. But it can also attract the opposite. So if I start decluttering and I'm constantly decluttering, but if I'm taking actions, it can inspire others and it can inspire myself to go, oh, when I enter this room, look at all the hard work I've done. And yes, the family undo that from time to time or every day. That's okay. I'm not talking about like neatness. I'm talking about the amount of items in that room that maybe I'm working on. That's to me the core of what I'm working on this week. And so this I find helpful. Now I have this, which will sit like right up here on my desk, and I will see this all the time. And I will think about it and kind of go, okay, how can usually I show the full card nice and close. This is the Future Ancestor deck by Lexaluna. She has a whole companion book out right now. And I think if you go, I don't know how long the giveaway was for. But if you go to her site here, lexaluna.com, you can get it. She's local here to the Pacific Northwest. She used to be in Seattle, then she moved to Uruguay, I think, and then is now back here and with her new baby. But that's how it kind of works. So it's like, this is a conscious thing, but then it also pulls into it pulls your subconscious into thinking about these things too. So even if I'm just going about my day, I'm thinking about, oh yeah, there's this theme I have for the week. And that's why I'm just going down to one. There's this theme I want to keep in my life that's really important, that is less stuff. I don't find it virtuous to have less stuff. I don't find it a marker of being more better or anything like that. I look at it as my brain does better when there's less stuff. And I was just hearing Lakin of Plan with Lakin was talking about this very similar thing. And it got me thinking about this, which was like, oh, okay, let me go do my planning now because I have kind of some more to add to that. Was that, okay, my, thanks ADHD. My train just got derailed. What was I thinking? So that she was talking about subconscious and conscious and just having like something to look at. She was talking more about manifesting and vision boards, but I feel like this is kind of a very similar thing. And I actually did put a vision board into this. I'm keeping my vision board from last year. I actually looked at it this year going, I am a lot closer on a lot of these goals, but I find that this vision board that I have hanging on my wall is like exactly what I want to keep focusing on. It makes me feel good. I don't feel like anything is outdated. So I just kind of kept it. But on the course of this, of thinking, oh, that's what it was. I was talking about like, there's this like, when you have too much stuff around you and you feel that, what she was referring to is you have a tolerance. And that's from the book, Decluttering at the Speed of Life. I checked it out once. I didn't really read it. Yay, brain. But I'm thinking about revisiting it because that's a really great way to refer to it as. Everyone has their own tolerance of how much stuff they want in their house. And so there isn't really a virtue to it of like having less or more. You can feel really proud of like being in sync with your house, of just like going, this feels good. And that I think you should fully celebrate. But I don't feel like we can really compare, because your tolerance of stuff, it could be like you love tons of art supplies. It could be that you don't want a single art supply in your house ever. Like, both of those are correct for whoever they apply to. So for me, I'm thinking, I'm like looking around going, you know, I do feel like a lot of this fits. And especially as we take down all of the Christmas stuff, it's going to feel better. I kind of feel like I didn't experience the Christmas stuff enough, because there was some, I get this way sometimes in some holidays. I feel like, oh, I ran out of time, and I don't really like feel in the mood at all to do any Christmas stuff after it's happened. It's really hard, sometimes until New Year, and then that's it, you know. And I think a lot of people are similar. Like right now, I would not watch a Christmas movie. That's me. I know other people enjoy them year round, right? But for me, I'm thinking like, as I'm subtracting, it's going to feel good. It's going to make me a little sad, but it's also going to make me long for next year. And definitely I'm going to be writing some notes into the stuff that we put away, so that I can read them a year from now and just kind of go, oh, that's where I was. Because, oh my goodness, comparing, I had written a note to myself last year and I read it this year going, wow, I grew so much. So much has happened. So much. And so, yeah. Anyway, that's my long version. And what I'm also thinking about is like writing this all out here. So, listener of candles. And then I'm going to write out this definition, because I think that's the other thing, is I wanted to take up a little bit of space here to maybe focus in on that a little bit more. But I'm not going to write that right now. So, looking at this week. Oh, I buried my washi tape. Hold on. What is one washi tape we can use? I have been using a lighter, this lighter one. Actually, let's use the darker one. Yes? No? Maybe? Yes. Okay. I made a decision. These are from Sterling Ink. All my links are below. Sometimes they're a affiliate link, but I don't think this one is. Let's see if I can gracefully get this open. No, not gracefully, not today. How has everyone's week gone? I have been blabbering and blabbering, but I would love to hear, like, if you want to share below, like, has this been hard to get back to normal? Has this been easier? Are you glad to get back to a routine? There are some times I'm just like, I don't want a routine. I just want empty space. And then other times I'm like, bring it on. I may not like it, but it just brings me a lot more peace. Let's see. I've been putting it down here, so I think I'll continue that this week, so it gives me some room. The other way I can put it would be right here, and then just having a bunch of space here. But for now, what I do is, oh, I didn't get my tool out. Not as prepared. I was ready to talk, but not ready to do this. I write like the social posts that are actually going live. I just say if I post or not. I have the other details in my work one, which is a Laurel Denise, and you can see that also on my channel. I like how this is actually kind of darker and lower on the page too, so. Oh, there. And I don't think I'll put anything up there. I will move this. Oh, this is where I keep my deck in, because it actually was just a paper deck box, and I found this as an antique, and I love it. Now is when I use up what I have. So I love this sticker maker, and I went and bought, usually just once a year, at, what's it called? The November, when all the sales go on, Black Friday. Usually Black Friday is where I get all my stickers for the year, and then I just try to use it up. And I got some, I'm really excited, I got some Valentine's, which I had before. And I also got St. Patrick's Day I didn't have last year. So there isn't really any sledding going on right now. Maybe, no, if I stick this down, let's pretend there, I know there's areas, let's just slide into the weekend. How about that? I'll put it here as in, I'm just going to slide into the weekend. And I do weird stuff like this, right? But to me, it's another subconscious thing of like, how can I clue in? Oh, and actually, probably in another video, I tried to place those. Anyway, I wanted to use that up. I know I'm all over the place today, but I use visual cues like this to go, okay, let me kind of get in the frame of mind, the mindset that I want to be in. Like sledding into the weekend, skating through the week. Why not? Why not, right? What else do I want? I want to use some pine cones. Oh, actually, I have a couple on here. Let's use a couple of these. So I like to use a lot on the weekend part to kind of know that we're kind of slowing down over here, that it's been more of a celebration, that we're getting things done. And then I'll put like just a couple little snowflakes. It really did work out to have snowflakes earlier on other, and I have another sampler here. We are wearing sweaters, so I'll do that again. It did help to have the snowflakes near the days that it actually snowed here. It felt good. And I think I'll put a few more pine cones. Probably one here. I like the long ones to kind of lay flat because you kind of think of gravity would probably tip them over. It's just where my brain's going. And that's the beautiful thing. If you have a totally different thought about like placing a sticker a certain place, please do. We have been seeing birds around, so I'm just going to put one bird. Let's see. That feels like too much because I have enough over here. There's a lot for this weekend, but it feels good there. Is it purely like, is this the best aesthetic ever? No, but it works for me. And that's what I want to show is like, kind of trust. It's also a practice of intuition of like, hey, well, this snowflake felt good here and here, and now I feel like another one's good there. And do I want to keep it this simple? Yes. Okay. I don't think I want to put the other things on here. Yeah, I'm trusting myself. It's ways to keep practicing, like trusting what I'm doing. And I just realized I didn't take this out of the package, so sorry for the noise. I wanted to actually get these dots, and I'll put some going up the side here. I like to leave 2 lines for a goal. Now these on the side are just things I want to keep in mind for the week. Let's put a little darker one. And I want to leave a little bit of room here. So let's just do 3, and I might add one more after I write. Let's give myself some space. How about that? So I'm also, if you've been around, I've been talking about these time strips. We do go to bed at 11, and I'm trying out for January having these go all the way down. Although I have no idea what to put for the evening hours. It does make my day feel a little bit more like, yes, I get up at 7 and I go to bed at 11. So it's more accurate in the hours that I have. Do I need that though? Because sometimes it does help to have a planner of just showing all the hours you have in the day. And then sometimes it helps just to have a literal list of like, here's something I have at 12 p.m. Here's something I have at 4 p.m. I just have those 2 things. That's all the space I need. because I don't want to fill it up with things. Both are correct. Both are correct. So, correct for you. It's whatever is correct for you. So, let me transfer over my habits. And then I'll do these, my weekly actions. So I'm still going to keep with sleep because it's really important for me to see when I'm not getting sleep because I can be more vulnerable to getting sick. I'm going to keep up with the vitamins because it's really been helping. Pay is like paying bills, and then checking accounts is what those are. And I thought there was one more I wanted to add on here. It's not coming to me, so we'll see. In terms of appointments for the week, let's see. So if I go to January, I have, my chiro is going to be here because he's taking a vacation, him and his wife. So I'm going to go early and then go back to these. This pretty much has just my medical appointments and then the 1 or 2 things that I want to do each month. So these can be, for me, it was taking all of our 2022 papers and organizing them for taxes. So I just have one bin, I throw everything in, and then I took about 45 minutes to an hour while I was watching a video and I just sorted them. So like all of the bills were all together so that when I go to itemize everything, because I do my own taxes, when I go to then itemize, they're all stacked up. And so I have categories of like this, here's all the health things, here's all the car stuff, here's all the business stuff. And I don't have to do any calculations. I was just like, nope, I'm here for an hour. That's it. And now I look at my bin down there and I can throw anything that says 2023 into the bin, but I have everything else that's 2022 ready for tax time. I usually do mine early. By the 31st, I'm like ready to like, okay, when's the soonest I can file? Because it doesn't take me very long because I've been doing it for years and years. What else? So I was kind of looking here going, what do I need to put on here? I don't see anything here. I do have my stars here are therapy just because they're repeating. Chiropractor isn't necessarily, and I may not go every single week, so I didn't do that. So that's it. So yeah, like for example, if you go to February, the oven is like running the clean cycle in the oven and then actually doing our taxes. So those are kind of the monthly things I put in. Like here, I do some pill counts just to make sure if I need to order any, and then like turning our clocks back for daylight saving, singular. That's how it's written. So yeah, this actually feels a lot better. I am not doing any, like grocery shopping because I just did a 2-week shop. I try to do once a week, and I had that as a goal. I actually put that in my goals, like give yourself a break, just focus on a week at a time. And I feel like that would take some pressure off, but I also don't think that way. I don't think of just a week because I'm just like, but if it just went one more day or maybe 3 more days, I wouldn't have to do it as much and I can just go at the same time. So last year, for the whole year, one of my goals was, playing or just working on my cycles of things, whether it's washing my hair or being in tune with my menstrual cycles of where my energy was at with that, or buying food. It still hasn't quite settled, and maybe it never will. But I'm also thinking every 2 weeks just is my norm. Like it felt really good last night to just like sit there and do a 2-week plan. because I used to do 3 and it was overwhelming. I try to do 1. It's not. So I'm thinking 2 is just the spot where I'm at. So when I look at, so I don't know what these are. Could I look back here to see if there's something else I want to track? I already have, I know this is weird to have teeth up here for personal. If you saw my last week's video, it's really being like confident in, I have an app that tracks brushing my teeth, but I have some sensory issues with it. And so I don't need my teeth straight. I don't need them whitened. I don't need any of that. That's not part of me. I can show up on a video, but I still want to have some confidence in it. So to me, personal is kind of a confidence thing. That's why that's there. Let's see. So I've been doing water, vitamins. I went to my appointments as of tomorrow morning. I invited flow into these areas. That's the other part of my spirituality. One is pulling cards. The other part is inviting flow and intentionality to things. And that's just setting an intention. It's like going, okay, I'm going to focus on health and work and just notice these things. So the insurance claims are still going through. Car savings. Oh, we're going to not do that. We're going to wait until, excuse me, bumping my chair. We're going to wait until after June because we have a June savings goal. And we did a bunch of work on the car. If you've been around. Did a lot last summer. And so we think it'll be fine. And we have another car to use in case something ever happens to that. They're both old cars, so you never know. But yeah, we thought not yet. So we got to talk about that. I'm going to clean the house this weekend. I did these things. I'm still focusing on this. And I didn't do music this week. So I guess I can't check it off if it's Thursday, right? And then I have been doing these things though. So, and that's the thing, like when things feel not, like I'll write them down, but then they never happen. It feels really like, okay, I don't want to check in with these things, right? They're inaccurate. For me, it feels like, no, let's just scrap this. I don't want to look at my goals anymore. They're not accurate. So here, that's why I love Makselife is like now I can rewrite them compared to like my monthly goals to get them back on track. So here I even had weekly food shop. Well, I did 2 weeks. So that's what felt good. And so I'll put as the new goal once it's time to shop again, like every 2 weeks. Well, actually, it kind of is a weekly because I do a snack run next week. So maybe it's not. Maybe I'm doing this a little different. Maybe I am focusing on Thursdays for food, but like the stuff I got, see, I'm just kind of realizing this. The stuff I got today was more like meals, and then next Thursday is like just snacks and stuff for my son's school lunches. So they are very different ways to think about things. So yeah, actually, that may be the answer that I searched for all last year. I haven't seen my new doctor yet. I'm just kind of looking here. Yeah, I got one therapy. I haven't done this. This is the thing. I need to focus some more time on here. So, and I'm doing my candles. Okay, so I know what I need to do. This I'm going to leave blank. Not that I don't want to have any fun. I'm having fun right now. I'm going to leave some of these actually just purely blank. And I want to see how this goes. I'm going to invite flow here because I'm not. So I want to watch videos. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. And then there's another project. And what else? I want to keep my eye on these insurance claims because, you know, I had to send one back because there's this co-insurance thing going on. So They're working on that. Everything else has been processed okay. Let's see. I will have another therapy here. There is a little bit of homework with that. And then I just want to write maintain here. And then I do write these out separately. So like last week, I'll just take some more time. It's a little too long to do here. And it's already been almost an hour. So we're going to wrap it up here. I want to leave these blank. I think water is enough here. Because then I can see like really I need to be focusing on this. These are just monitoring. These are just little things. So let's see. We have water in here. We're going to check on these here. Maybe this is what I'm talking about from something to track here. Or maybe this is. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to put it here. And I've done this before with not much success. That's why I'm a little hesitant to put videos down here. But I'm going to try it again. And so, let's see, what do I want to do down here? I think I want to grab, I love to draw attention to it. So I'm going to use different colors here. So these are the Makselife markers. I have spent so much time trying to match things up, and I was so thankful they put these out, because to me it was like, does that match? Does that match? And I get caught up with that. Being a former graphic designer, I get matchy with things. And yeah, these are all health things. And I want to match everything. It's also a neurodivergent thing. And I am accepting imperfection in this. But I also see like this color is going to help me look down here. So yeah, that feels good. I was going to look here to see. I did a bunch of plant things last Monday. Usually I do them on Mondays. So I just put a little icon here for plants. Ooh, do I need to gas up the car? I do not. I do not. Anything else? I have all these little icons I use. I've been using up what I have, but also I ordered a few new ones. And right now, I'm liking how empty it feels. Okay, now this, because we have kind of a darker blue theme, I'll put this for recording next week. I do want to get back to recording my podcast, but I'm going to be doing it once a week. I mean, most of the time I would record once a week. I'm going to change that real quick. But this time I'm going to actually just put out one. Whoa, that's not a pencil. Put out one podcast a week. So record. Whoa, let's see if I can spell. And then film. And then plants. Whoa, hi candle. That's a lot of empty space, but I know there's a lot to do as well. So as I go through the week, I will be adding a lot of things. And what I'm going to try to do this week is pencil a few more things that I'm actually doing into the days to kind of notice when I'm doing them up here. If that's not something I like for the next week or so, I'm going to probably take this and cut it at 7 so that I can use, it was a 24-hour thing. Excuse me. And so if I can cut it at 7, I can actually use this whole time strip twice. Does that make sense? So I can cut it in half and use them all for next year's as well. And that's why I'm glad I didn't put any down here yet. I just put like a few of these, but this is kind of open to see what I want to do. So yeah, it's pretty bare, but that's where I'm going to leave it. I want to thank everyone for joining me, and I'm really excited to be in this new planner. If you want to catch some more of my videos, I'm do 10 minutes better. I have been doing those. I don't think I can do any more of the tiny tidies for a while. It's been a little too taxing on me. I also have my goal videos, and then I did kind of a breakdown here. And then I also have a video on this is just like a yearly tracker that I'm using because I had a duplicate week and I planned this week in my previous planner. So I had this all open so that I can slowly go through. And this is how I'm using it. Like I have all of the January ones in, and yeah, I'll count them down. And then I use pencil so I can erase it. So if something doesn't work, like if my new doctor reschedules for the next month, I can erase it and put it down here. But then I know like what month that happened without like going through my whole planner. So yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone, and I will see you next week. And I hope you have a beautiful week, and you'll see all of this when it's a little bit more filled in. Bye!